Hey, well, we're live, right? We're live here talking about Livingway Conference. Wanted to give you guys kind of the lowdown on what Livingway Conference this year is all about, what to expect on Friday night, what's happening on Saturday, why is it just a morning session. We're here to explain a couple things about conference and kind of give you the heart and the vision of what Livingway Conference is trying to do in the RGV and trying to do for the churches and the pastors of the RGV. Why don't you help us understand a little bit more about Friday night first before we jump into Saturday morning?
You know, we're just excited about what this conference is going to do for people. You know, anytime you gather, get out of your normal schedule and just focus on God, right? And no big agenda. We don't have the time crunch of a Sunday morning. Friday nights are always amazing, and our worship team is cooking up something powerful. It will be an encounter with God, and we position this strategically, Marcus, mid-year, so right in the summer, you know, people could come and take that break, maybe take off work a little bit early on Friday, get in and just experience a very powerful conference weekend. Nathan Finocchio is going to be a guest speaker, and you know he probably has Theos U is probably one of the largest theological learning apps
Online,
online in the world.
Most affordable too. They have the most affordable seminary school and the most affordable library for people that want to grow theologically.
Point being, no joke.
Yeah.
You know, it's a hardcore speaker, very strong in the word. You're going to grow. Your mind's going to be blown. You're going to want to take notes. So Friday is just come and just bring your friends, bring people unsaved, bring other fellow believers, and let them just experience the power of God in an awesome way.
And I believe Friday is also, before we get started with the general session, there's a pastors gathering where we're trying to pour out the heart and vision of what God has given our pastor here at Livingway and impart that into other pastors of the region, impart what we've learned.
Yeah.
Iron sharpens iron. We want to be in community with other pastors in the RGV. Right. We want to learn and grow from each other. Why don't you help those who are not signed up yet understand why is there a session for pastors?
Yeah, absolutely, Marcus. And I think that if you're watching and you're seeing this and you have a pastor in a local church, well, do us a favor and be sure they know July 25th, it's like 3 p.m. to like 6:30. It's a pastor intensive for pastors. Of course, associate pastors can come as well. Ministers of the gospel that serve the local church will be benefited by this time. And then if you are a pastor that's watching, jump on and register and get signed up. I know we're all busy. There's always something to do. But, you know, Pastor Marcus, I value the time, and I appreciate the time when I step away and just for the purpose of hearing from others, a fresh perspective, new insight. It does something powerful for your ministry. And so we really feel like we have divine direction on this particular pastoral gathering. And this afternoon, these 3 hours will be powerful and power-packed. I guess my greatest concern for pastors and ministries, and our church included today, is learning how to navigate the future, learning how to navigate change, not just in ministry, but I've seen so many churches. We used to say a bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you fail to make the turn. And if you fail to make the turn, things aren't going to turn out too well.
Yeah.
And let's just say that there's a lot of pastors, a lot of churches, a lot of businesses and business leaders missing their opportunity, not knowing when to turn, not knowing how to pass on to the next generation a legacy of faith and giving them shoulders that they can stand on. So we're going to really lean into this, Pastor Marcus, how to pass the baton, giving the next generation leaders in your church plenty runway, meaning a time to be mentored, poured into, taught, trained, so that there's plenty runway that they're able to launch into what God has for them in the future of our churches.
And we always talk a lot about church hurt for the congregation, but we never talk about what pastors are going through and how they are weary and they are tired, and many pastors are quitting the ministry. And I think getting into spaces like this, God can sometimes speak through another individual, give a pastor a word that can help you carry on for a few more years before you need to pass on that baton. So I would say get in spaces like this. We're holding the space, but man, get around other pastors that can help impart into your life. I believe God can move in those spaces. And
we live in community.
Yeah.
We die in isolation. And I came across a stat the other day that said 75%. That's huge, man. 3/4 of all pastors never finish their tenure in ministry. In other words, they don't retire as a pastor. They either quit, go into secular trade, some expire, or whatever the reason is. A lot of people are quitting and falling out of ministry today. And simply put, I believe it's because they don't have communities and don't find spaces like this where they can be strengthened, where they can grow. What an afternoon. We're going to go back to back to back. I'm going to be sharing a word about legacy and next generation ministry. Nathan Finocchio from the amazing Theos U and all they bring to the table, and the thousands of pastors that they have touched around the country. Just the perspective of having someone like that in the room, and their perspective will be life-changing for us all. And then Pastor Harold Guetta is coming over from the Woodlands in Houston. Pastors a great, fast-growing church there that brings us the Hispanic and the Spanish element and helps us understand that. So, many of you know Harold is Marcus Witt's son-in-law. I don't want to introduce him like that because he's a powerful minister in his own right. But we'll be going back to back to back. There will be a time for questions. We'll be hanging out, eating a meal together, and it's going to be a great time.
Yeah. So this is an all generations conference. It's not just a young people, young adults, youth. It's an all generations conference. So sign up, get registered. We're going to upload a conference playlist soon so that you can go listen to the songs that are going to be sung here at conference, so that you're not coming in and like, I've never heard this song before. I've never heard this. What is this? So we're going to go, you listen to that playlist, learn it so we can worship in community together. Let's get registered. Let's have fun. Let's minister to the Lord. Let's grow in the knowledge of Christ. And
Pastor Marcus, I just want to add here at the end, what's going to be unique about this conference is on Friday, all the activities will be here at Brownsville campus. And then we're going to shift everything on Saturday to the Harlingen campus.
Yeah, and Saturday, it's not only for our church. It is for our church. The volunteers that we have, it is especially for them. But if you want to come learn about internal church ministry, this is for you as well. So you can come learn how Livingway does what it does and what we do.
Yeah, I heard there's going to be a credible worship workshop for all those worshipers out there. I know we hundreds and hundreds in the RGV, and incredible worship workshop about the heart of worship and the heart of a worship leader with Pastor Harold Guetta. And then we're going to have stuff on our media and presentations,
hospitality
teams, how we do church. So we'd really like to encourage all church volunteers, come join us. And for the low price of $0. For the low price of $0. And we're grateful, and I want to give shout out to all of our amazing conference sponsors, because we couldn't do this without you. Yeah. And because of sponsorship, because of conference sponsorship, we are able to provide this incredible weekend for free. And that's just a really good deal.
Amen. Well, God bless you. We hope this encouraged you, and you learned a little bit about what Livingway Conference is. Sign up today. We hope to see you there.
Come on out. You will be blessed.
Yeah. Peace out, guys.
Peace out.